We're replacing a failed triple wall system. Everything about it failed. This is a Michigan drain. Pop-ups failed, drain failed. They never ran it far enough. They didn't have a catch basin on it, so it was full. Look at this, it's full solid, completely solid. Every house we've been to this month, we're pulling out systems that are failed. There's just a few key points to having a really good underground buried downspout system. You got to have a vented cleanout leaf filter. That is the number one. You need a catch basin in line. I don't care if it's smooth wall pipe or not. You need a good sediment trap. And then you need a pop-up that's not going to break under the weight of today's lawnmowers. You know, the reason why we built, I guess you can say we overbuilt the pop-up, is because we knew these little pop-ups broke all the time. So we came out with a big plate. Look at this, how it's braced up underneath. It's overbuilt. But something as important as the discharge of a drain, it should be overbuilt. So we're replacing this failed triple wall system. No catch basin, no vented cleanout leaf filter. Whole system's clogged. All the drains around this house are clogged and broken. And here we are. Same old story, just another day. A lot of job security for the French Drain Man team. Most of what's being installed, probably 80% of what's being installed today, is absolute garbage, and it's temporary at best. So whenever you see an install like this, water comes squirting out of here. It's too low. It's too low. Water takes the path of least resistance. This needs more head pressure. This needs a riser so that you can create more head pressure. Right now, water's going to take the path of least resistance, and that's going to be squirting right out of here. Also, with no vented cleanout leaf filter, all the pipes on this house are just clogged. Look at this. No tile tape. They use the 90, which is fine. I prefer not quite a 90, but they use the 90. And they didn't tape the joints at all. And we see this all the time. This whole house is going to get done in 3.5-inch pipe. There's 2x3 downspouts. Cal's going to be able to take a measurement so that he knows where to cut the riser. Once you know you got a good fit, go ahead and tape both sides of the not quite a 90. Now, when we have drought and the clay shrinks, and when we have a lot of rain and the ground swells up, we don't have to worry about a glue joint breaking. This is super stretchy, super sticky tile tape. It's designed for drainage. It's a special plumbing tape. It was developed on farms and agriculture drainage. Yeah, I want to talk about this downspout. You see how this is square right here? You see how these gutter adapters are square? There's like a flat square. The water doesn't line up. Like this had failure written all over it. Now you have to make a drain part, extremely slippery so that water doesn't come spraying and splashing out. This gutter adapter sends the water straight up in the air. It just comes squirting back up. It literally ricochets off of that. We've had clients that have recorded this. They'd be sitting in their house and from a window, they show it just literally spraying out. We know this. That's why we built our leaf filter like a funnel. You see how there's no square? It has this beautiful shape to it where it just funnels right down. So A lot of engineering, a lot of time, a lot of attention to detail went into that vented cleanout leaf filter. Now this is vented right here. When you chase water with air, you accelerate the flow of water. So we're going to keep this 3.5 inch pipe nice and clean. So now this is copper sulfate crystals. This is going to just push the roots away. They're not going to like that at all. We're going to put our catch basin in there. We're not going to have to worry about the roots. All right, Kale's going to put some copper in there as well. When you have copper sulfate crystals work immediately. The copper mesh, that'll be working real good a year from now. And it should give us 20 years. It's going to release copper ions into the soil. It's going to push all the roots away. This was a real good decision by Kale. He's seen the roots. He already knew. Let's get some copper sulfate crystals and some copper mesh in this trench. This is 100% pure copper. It's real easy to work with. You can open it up and put it over a pipe. It really fits on the 3.5 inch pipe really nice. All right, so Cal went ahead. He cut a piece of the copper sock. He's going to tape up where the catch basin snaps on to the 3.5 inch drain tile and where the coupler connects to the catch basin. Now he's going to slide that copper right over that connection. So with the copper sulfate crystals and the copper 100% pure copper sock, we're going to be able to push all those roots away. This 3.5 inch pipe, roots take the path of least resistance. This 3.5 inch pipe is so solid, you can't crush it. You're not going to crush it. This is our strongest pipe. We turned it up, made it even heavier than our 4 inch. We absolutely love it. Anytime we need a really strong pipe, we go to the 3.5. So we got copper sulfate crystals where the pop-up goes. Putting some copper sock over the end. Because remember, we don't tile tape a pop-up on. Make sure your pop-up top is dirt level and not turf level so that your lawnmower doesn't chop it off. That's it, just cover the stone so the dirt doesn't get in it. So always make sure your leaf filter is nice and straight before you go backfilling it. Always stand on the pipe by the catch basin because you want that pipe on the bottom of the trench. You work so hard to get that perfect slope. You want to maintain that perfect slope. Don't lose it by having dirt roll under the pipe. You see there's drill holes in the bottom of the catch basin. One piece of pipe from this pop-up all the way to the catch basin. It's just one piece of pipe. The tree roots, there's not going to be any issues. We got trees. We do have trees. These trees are going to be problems if you don't install thinking about the trees. So we got copper sulfate crystals. We got the copper sock around the catch basin and the pop-up emitter. And then we went ahead with our 3.5. It's super strong. It's crazy strong. Really, really strong. Whole house has 2x3 downspouts all the way around. We got them all on 3.5-inch pipe. It's coming out real nice. If your catch basin ends up in your landscape, we have black and we also have tan catch basin covers. We also have black and tan pop-ups too. So if it ends up in decorative rock, some landscape. This one was clogged. This was the downspout that was clogged. Running it far away from the house. The homeowner will be able to clean out his line instead of just having it build up and clogged. And it's a good look. Now here in the north, we like the black leaf filter because it'll gather sunlight in the wintertime and it'll thaw out. But this house would look banging with our white leaf filters. Like when you have a gray with white trim house and you put our white leaf filters on, I mean, it is just, it's really cool. It looks nice, but there's a reason why we went with black. So we got rid of the old because it was failing. So you see this mess right here. You see all this erosion. And you see how the bark's all splashed up on the house. Well, that's because the gutter was overflowing and the water was just pouring down here. That's why we're here. The system that was in place was clogged, so the water couldn't get off the roof. Now, even if something crazy happens that I can't even imagine, that has to do with maybe some ice buildup and snow, our leaf filter is vented and the water can at least get off the roof that way. All our parts go together quick, easy, fast. So once you get your leaf filter riser cut, now it's time to put on the pipe. You want to tape this right now before you put any more of the system together. This is really easy to tape, just the way you see Juan doing it right now. Everything's fitted really nice. He's going to tape where the pipe goes in the coupler, and he's going to tape where the coupler slides on to not quite a 90. This is going to be a watertight seal. So here's a beautiful example of a vented cleanout leaf filter on a fitted riser. Both sides of the not quite a 90 are taped up really well. No tape is needed where the leaf filter slides into the riser. If water comes out of there, then your riser is too short, you need more head pressure, and you need a taller riser. All right, so we got a double. We call this a double catch basin. Why? Instead of 1 gallon of shingle gravel, it holds 2¼ gallons. It's a big one, and it's made the same way. It's only 5 inches wide and fits in a trench, made by a trencher or a trenching shovel. It's in our trencher series. This is going to be our 6-inch. All right, so right now we're going to Y 2 3.5-inch downspouts into 1 4-inch main. We're going to show you every connection. We're going to show you how we do this. Cut 7 of these ribs. That's the length you want. It'll snap into that hub and then it'll fit in the other hub. Real nice hold. Put some tile tape on it so that it doesn't leak and so tree roots can't get in it. There's your 3.5 to 4 reducer. You can see how there's a little step right here that needs to be on top. Down here it's flat, 3.5, and it flows right into the 4. So make sure this is on top always, and this is always at the bottom of your trench, right here, where you see that it's flat. Seven ribs of single wall or dual wall, doesn't matter. So we have a male Y. We have a 4-inch male Y. We have a 4-inch 45. And then we have 2 3.5 to 4 reducer fittings. Super easy, it goes together really quick and simple, homeowners. Contractors as well, this is really easy. Anytime you have a solid discharge line and it's not perforated, even though our fittings hold so well, you still want to add tile tape. Before you cut your pipe, make sure you have it tight up to the house, the riser and leaf filter. Cut enough pipe to where you can go inside the hub.
Hold it, wait, let me take it.
That is a beautiful connection. I just have to brag on this. Francisco did an amazing job. We got our female to male 4-inch Y, our 4-inch 45. We go into our 3.5 to 4 reducer. Over here, we just had to use a 3.5 to 4-inch reducer. Look at how nice that is sealed up and taped. No tree roots can get in that. There's not going to be any water lost at these connection points. This is a beautiful example of how you're supposed to connect 2 downspouts. We got two 2x3 downspouts. They're responsible for a lot of rooftop, both of them are. So we wanted to take those two, merge them, and go to a 4-inch main. We're going to have both of those downspouts on one catch basin. So we went to our 2.25 gallon catch basin. It's going to hold a lot of shingle gravel. If you're ever going to use one catch basin for 2 downspouts, this is how you want to do it. Make sure your catch basin is standing straight up and it's not crooked or sideways before you tape it, because you can spin this pipe and it'll rotate that catch basin, but as soon as you tape this, you no longer can do that. So we got holes drilled in the bottom of this. We got fabric underneath it. Doing everything like we would with our 1 gallon. 3.5, 3.5. They merge to 4. 4 under the brick paper walk to a double catch basin. It'll look amazing in this landscape with black bark mulch. It'll go undetected. It'll just get lost in the shadows. Do not tape your pop-up. When it's done moving all the bulk water, what's left in this little elbow, it's not quite a 90, it'll leach away in this pea stone. That's why we do this little mini dry well at the end. Always stand on the pipe when you're pushing the dirt on the pipe so that the dirt doesn't push the pipe out of alignment. The dirt can roll under the pipe and lift the pipe, and you'll lose that perfect slope you work so hard for. Just want to point out we have a 5-inch riser on this basin. When you go underneath the sidewalk, you're usually going to need either several risers of the smaller or one of these 5-inch right here. So this is a 5-inch riser. These are 1.5 inches each. Slip fit, easy to adjust, easy to use. Our kits make it really easy for a homeowner to do this in a day. You don't have to run to the hardware store 3 or 4 times. You don't have to use parts that don't go together. Parts that were made by the same company and they still don't go together. Trust me, I lived a whole lifetime of it. It makes no sense at all. That's what happens when you got a bunch of people around an oval table and the bean counters are running the show. Nobody's using the product themselves. And honestly, I know firsthand, even when you point it out that their stuff don't fit, they don't care. And they do not make changes. So that's why we started making our own parts. Beautiful example of how to merge 2 maxed out lines. So this second story drops down to the first story and all that water ends up in this gutter. So there's a lot on that downspout. Over here, this downspout, you got this big gutter run that goes across the back of the house. It's going to be a lot of water. So we merged them together. They're each 3.5 inch and we merged them to a 4-inch line. We ran this really far out. It's not a pretty long run. We got good slope. This system's going to scream. The guys put the brick pavers back together. They look amazing. Once we blow them off, they'll be fantastic. Sod's going back in. You could hardly even tell that this work was done. Cutting the grass off around the cover to the catch basin. Notice how that's below turf. You want it at dirt level, not turf level. That way you don't have to worry about it getting caught on a lawnmower. No issues. Same with the pop-up. It's at dirt level. It's not at turf level. If the pop-up was all the way up where the blades of the grass are, of course the lawnmower is going to be able to suck up and chop the lid off the pop-up emitter. Right here, that's just the sod that the guys cut out. Just put a piece of sod over your pop-up, cut it out, done, easy. Don't make it any harder than you have to. Work smarter, not harder. So check this out. Really nice. Really nice. Can hardly tell the work was done. The guys are cutting up the system so we can throw it away. You know, we poured everything out. I didn't have the camera running, but it was just absolutely full of shingle gravel. Yeah, the shingle gravel ended up all over the grass when we picked it up. But really nice. See how straight that riser is and that leaf filter? And look at this. Beautiful work. Get the water far away from the house. We always want to take the pop-up emitter out far, and I'll tell you why. So hardly any slope through here, but then it drops off a lot out here. We want the top of the pop-up emitter to be lower than the majority of the line. So that's your goal. If you can achieve that, that's what you want in a perfect world. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. It supports the channel. If you have any questions regarding this installation, leave them in the comments section. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until the next video.